Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is the Mallorca Connection, and we're going to be discussing with the star of our show, wintering in Italy. It's a season of people, food, and culture. Let's welcome Mr. Roland.friedl joining us somewhere in Europe. Hello, Roland.
Hello to JACALYN and hello to our audience wherever you're joining us. Hello.
Hello, it's great to have you back. We just did a show together right before this, the Planet Earth show, and you're getting ready to start traveling again. And before we talk about where it is you're going, for people joining us for the first time, they want to understand what is the Mallorca Connection and how is it connected with you?
Oh my gosh, to make a long story short, I was invited to join your show as an interview guest by a friend of mine, John Christian. And actually it went well. We had a lot of fun. And you, Dr. JACALYN, you contacted me if I'm interested in doing a show. And we had a discussion about what kind of area or topic I want to discuss. And I said, well, I've just brought a Chandler because I'm so curious and interested in learning different things. So we came across to find a more general name for the show, and we call it Mallorca Connection because at the time that we met Dr. JACALYN 2 years ago, Mallorca, the beautiful island in Spain, was my home base for many years, which I left almost 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago. Yeah, that's the reason. That's the story behind.
The time has flown by so fast. It's amazing. So You're in your motorhome. You've been traveling all over. You brought us so many amazing guests and wonderful stories from your travels. And now where you are, it's getting colder. So you're going to be moving on out. Where are you going and why?
Okay, so yeah, actually this year I'm heading down to Italy. Last year I spent winter in Spain and Portugal. This year I'm heading to Italy. The reason for that is because it's actually I go to the southwest point to an island called Sicily. And yeah, because the weather is nice there, people are nice, food is nice. It's amazing there, and it's just too cold here in the north. So especially for people who are living in a motorhome or traveling in a motorhome, they understand totally what I'm talking about. You need a more warmer area, or let's say at least a more friendly area. That's the reason I'm heading south. And this year it's Italy. It's one of my favorite countries. I love the Italian style, you know, the dolce far niente. People are dressed perfectly. Also all the people that were I've never seen in the world old people, you know, 60 plus like myself, and really dressed cool, probably. I love that. The kitchen, the cuisine is amazing. What's going to be a challenge the first 40 days for me. So the first 40 days, no pasta, no pizza for me. But I have an amazing kitchen. The food is excellent. The wine is excellent. People are very friendly. There's a lot of culture. Yeah, it's a perfect stay in Europe to spend the winter.
And it sounds romantic. It sounds romantic going to Italy, and I love the food and the culture. So the part of Italy that you're going to, is this a place that most tourists would know about, or is this really known to the locals?
Well, most people who go to Italy go more, especially people traveling by car from Austria, from Germany, or somewhere. They come to the beaches. They go more north. That is closer to them in the north area. People who go for culture, they go to Rome, to the capital, or they go to the Tuscany area. The Tuscany area is very, very famous. It's a beautiful area with amazing buildings and beautiful villages, amazing vineyards and stuff like that. So that's some of the most popular areas. Or South Tyrol in the north when you go for skiing or something like that. The south, meaning everything south of Rome, maybe Naples, yeah, a little bit, but south of Rome, except Naples and south of Naples, there are not many tourists because driving by car is maybe too far from some people, and there are no really good airports to get there. That's one point. So that's why I prefer this area. It's not crowded, especially not in winter. And then I'm heading over by a ferry to this large island called Sicilia. Sicilia is famous because of an organization that rules the island and rest of Italy and many other parts of the world, like in the US, they call it the mafia. So that's Sicilia famous for it. But they have amazing food. Really, Sicilia is amazing for the food. The people are very, very friendly, very warm-hearted, welcoming. And yeah, it's the south. It's totally in the south of the Mediterranean Sea. So I expect no snow. Maybe in the mountains, in the volcano area, in the mountains, 2,000 something meters high, so about 6,000-7,000 feet high. Maybe there will be some snow, but not on land not on the coast. Yeah, so let's head to Italy. I'm very looking forward to that. To be honest, I've been there the last time 40 years ago when I finished school. So when we finished school with the friends, we went to see. I'm coming back after 40 years.
Now, Roland, are you saying Sicily?
Sicily.
Sicily.
So
that
Germany
is
Sicilian.
okay. So that's where The Godfather was filmed, I believe.
Yes.
It looks like a beautiful countryside from what I saw in the movie.
Oh, it's amazing, really. Not only the beaches, but the small villages and also the larger capitals like Palermo, it's the capital, and Catania. Yeah, like in Florida, when it's sunny and warm, people are sitting outside in the cafes in the terrace. It's full of life, It's in the north, everybody's inside. It's cold. People are frustrated. Maybe they get a depression because the sky is gray and not blue and sunny. So yeah, it's a different lifestyle.
I'm completely on board with you. I have no interest to see the winter ever again. Now, what's involved when you're packing up and literally moving to another country for a number of months? You're in a motor vehicle, you have your little pets, your family with you. What all do you have to do to get ready for the trip?
Well, in general, when somebody is thinking about fleeing the winter, when you're living in the North area, maybe in North America, in the northern states, or in Europe, or wherever you want to head down in the US to Florida or California or New Mexico, or here in Europe, you go to Spain, Portugal, Italy, Turkey, or Greece. It's all the same. Well, when you go for a long term, for a few months there, you have to consider some stuff I'm preparing. First of all, I told you, Dr. JACALYN, I speak first for my personal trip, what I do, and then in general for other people who are traveling in a motorhome or by airplane or by car. It doesn't mean that you need a motorhome. Maybe you're renting out a flat, or you go to a hotel, or you're renting out a house or whatever. So what I do first is, of course, I do a research what kind of places I want to visit. That's one thing. I want to visit some nice places. I have a bucket list, something like that. I want to see. That's the first thing. Second thing, I found out where the network is good, which are the best providers, because I'm working online. That's my first thing. Is I called a friend of mine, an Italian friend who also lives in his motorhome. I met him actually last year in Spain. I asked him, okay, what are the best providers to have a good network so I can stream, for example, USA Global TV and radios, and do also my Zoom calls with my clients, stuff like that. So I'm heading for internet. That's the two main things I'm figuring out first. Okay, so what I want to see, have a route, and secondly is getting good Wi-Fi. Sounds weird, but when you work, I'm still working. You need a good Wi-Fi, And as I said in the previous shows, when I'm heading down to Italy, I want to shred my body again. So I go on a 10-day water fasting, and then I go on a 30-day lion diet. So what I do for the first, not for the 10 days, it's just whatever, but the 30 days is I bring my own food from Austria. So I make sure that, because I only buy local food. I buy from local farms. So I do it where I'm standing right here with motorhome. I buy from a local farm for the first 30 days. So to make sure that I can follow my diet. That's the first thing. And after 30 days in Italy, I will do some research. Where's the next local farm, and I get the food of that. So that's what I do. The second thing I'm organizing is, because I'm traveling with my pets, I'm finding out, okay, what are the rules and regulations when you're traveling with pets. That's one thing. That's the reason why Phoenix, the cat, will stay in Austria. So I'm only traveling with my dog. I will bring Alora. Phoenix is not coming with me this time. It's too dangerous for him, because in Sicily, there are a lot of dogs and wild dogs and cats running around, and I don't want him to get involved in a fight and get damaged or something like that. So he will stay in Austria. But for Alora, I was checking some in the major cities, some veterinarian clinics, if there's an emergency, stuff like that. So especially when you have an emergency, have a clear, you know exactly where to go. That's what I do for my pet. Well, I'm a healthy person, to be honest, but so if you have health issues when you're traveling, you have health issues, whatever kind of, make sure in the area that you know before you're traveling, there is a specialist, a doctor, a clinic that can help you when you need support. Also, well, I don't take any pharmaceuticals, but if you have to take pharmaceuticals that are important for you, make sure that you get them there, or you bring them at least from your home. That the second thing is, it's very, very important to stay healthy, and if there's an emergency, to find out things. So this is for me the most important thing. Okay, having a route, what I want to see, good network, taking care about my pets, get my local food, my healthy stuff, my clean food, and also, I guess I'm getting old too, making sure that if there's an emergency, I find a clinic or whatever I need. That's the first thing I'm looking for.
Okay, sorry, I thought there was more.
Yeah, it's more coming, but maybe you have a question in between.
Yes, absolutely. So, Roland, one thing that we've discussed, and I kind of want to put it into this perspective, is that you've been traveling by yourself. You've met a number of people, you've had some relationships, and now you're going sort of with the mentality of you're moving to a new location, literally your whole home and your animals, and you're going to have an opportunity to start a new chapter in Italy. So what would you like to have accomplished by the time you leave there? Are you looking for love? Are you looking to build your business? Are you looking to make some new friends? What are you looking for?
First of all, I'm looking for sun and warmth. That's the first thing, to be honest. Secondly, I finally wanna bring my book on the market. Want to launch my book. I started writing a book last year. Actually, I finished it already a few months ago, and then a friend of mine was editing it, and then I stuck. So I want to take the time and launch my book. That's one goal. Another goal is, as I mentioned before, I want to shred my body again. That's why I start with a water fast and then a lion diet. That's what I accomplish. Of course, meeting new friends. You mentioned finding a new love. That's an interesting point. To be honest, I'm not looking for something, because when you force it, it's not working at all. No, not at all. I just want to meet nice people, and it's all about sharing and caring, having a good time with different people in different places. But first of all, is launching the book, shredding my body, having time for myself. I continue working, of course, no doubt on that. That's not any difference. And then I'm just open what's going to happen. I'm just open what's going to happen. And and also improving my Italian language. Yeah, of course.
Fantastic. It sounds like a lot of fun. And what would you say are the main differences to spending the winter in Italy in terms of spending it to somewhere where it's very cold. So obviously it's going to have an impact on your disposition, maybe an impact on your animals, maybe an impact on your wallet. What are some other ways that being in a warmer climate will impact you as opposed to a colder climate?
Good question, man. First of all, it's cheaper to live in a warmer climate because you don't have any expenses on heating or much less expenses on heating. So you're spending less money. I remember that my parents, and when they've been younger, and friends of my parents, when they retired, they all spent the winter in mostly in a hotel for months. It was quite a very reasonable price when you book it for 2, 3 or 4 months. They went to Turkey or to Egypt or to Greece or the Canarian Islands and spent the winter there because it was much cheaper than heating the house or stuff like that. But by the way, when you go to restaurants, have a coffee, or the food is also cheaper in the southern countries than in the north or middle of Europe. So it's you're saving money. That's one point. As I said, you feel more happy when the sun is shining. You know, most people get a depression when it's gray and cold. So it has a positive impact on your health, especially also on not only on your health, you don't get a flu or something like that or a cold, but also on your mental health. That's one other point. Of course, you're eating healthier because the diet, especially the Mediterranean diet, is famous that it's healthy. Yeah, it has fresh fish, is it meat, fresh vegetable, olive oil, and stuff like that. So it's a good diet. It's good for your body, for your health. Well, you don't bring winter clothes, so you don't need much winter clothes. Actually, when you go south, I don't know how it's in Florida or in California. Well, I was there in winter, but I don't remember. But here in Europe, when you go, I don't know, South Spain, Italy, or Greece, or whatever, it's warm during the day, but it gets chilly in the night. So, of course, you have to bring a pullover or a hoodie or whatever for the evenings being out. You have to take care about that. But it's not, there are no minus Celsius degrees, not at all. It's not frozen in the morning. There's no snow normally, except in the mountains, of course. So, yeah, bring summer clothes, maybe swimming clothes, but also bring a hoodie for the evenings or something like that. Because it can be chilly in the evening, especially when the sun is going down. And we all know that here in Europe, in winter, the sun is going down earlier, much earlier, because the daylight is shorter than during the summer season, of course. So it can be chilly in the evening or in the morning. That's one thing you have to consider. Another thing you have to consider is more sun, being more outside, being more outside of being more extroverted means that you have to consider that the people are acting, behaving, and talking differently when you go to Spain. They're more emotional. They're talking louder. And for some people, I remember the first time I went to South and I said, oh my God, especially when you don't understand the language, you think they're very aggressive. No, not at all. They're just, more emotional. The Italians talk with their hands and everything, the whole body language, very, very loud. So you make sure that when you go south, especially in Europe, the culture is different. People are different. Yeah, they're more open. They're more explosive. They're more emotional. So don't be scared about that. And yeah, what else to consider? Having fun, enjoying and having fun.
Thank you, Roland. We do have a couple of comments from Push Child Foundation Uganda. Thanks for the show.
Hi,
and
Enoch.
Mr. Roland, when are you traveling to Africa?
Oh, when there's a bridge from Europe to Africa to come with my motor.
Or maybe you can have a flying vehicle. You can get it picked up and flown over.
Well, actually, from there are ferry boats, of course, where you can go with your motorhome. Yeah, you can go. But I will think it's a good question, by the way, Africa. I would love to. But actually, last winter when I was in Portugal, I had 2 weeks of rain there. It was not cold, but raining. I was considering going to Morocco, to North Africa, with a ferry boat. It's quite reasonable price. But then I said I cannot go because all my animals, they don't have any vaccination, so I couldn't bring them back to the European community. So I said, okay, I cannot go. But I would love to go to Africa for sure. Yeah, would be lovely.
What
but
kind of inoculations do your pets have to get?
To be honest, I'm not a specialist on them, but they don't have none of them because none of them. But they need several, but I don't know. I don't know what exactly it is. They don't have them. They don't have them. But
Okay.
you need a vaccination passport to travel with your pets. Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know. So at some point when there's a bridge built, you may be headed to Africa, which is exciting. You'll have
Yeah.
to take us along with you. Now, when you get to Italy, I know you've described before that there are various places that you can register in advance to be able to take your motorhome. Is it the same way here, or you just drive around and go, oh, do they have anything open here?
Well, in Italy, in winter, it's out of season. High season in Italy, especially on the coast side, is of course during the summer months. So it's out of season. So most camping sites, many camping sites are closed. That's what I found out. So you're staying in the wild, what is okay in winter. So there's no problem with the police. Some camping sites are open. I never book in advance because I don't want to put myself under pressure to be on a certain day on a certain event. So as I said before, I plan my tour. So I want to see this. I want to see this. This sounds interesting. I want to see this. So I plan my tour more or less. So I'm not going down and back and down and back and also wasting a lot of gasoline. So I plan my tour, but I don't have any timetable. So last winter, I came to places where I was thinking, okay, let's make a stop over for 2 days, and then I will spend 3 weeks there because it was a really nice area. I felt comfortable, and then I came to the venues where I said, okay, let's spend 2-3 days, and then I left after 3 hours. I said, no, I don't like it here. Off. So yeah, I that's why I don't book in advance. That's why I don't book. I don't want to put myself under pressure. Then I have to be there because I have a booking. No, I don't do this. And there's always this place, it's out of season. Here it's out in the south, it's out of season. Of course, there are more and more people are traveling to the south, especially motorhomes, but there's no issue to find a place. Not at all.
That's good. I like what you just said, because I've been known over time to make reservations, whether it's for a class or whatever, and then I can't make it. I'm like, oh, I lost that money. So when you don't do it in advance, usually something opens up, it comes your way, right?
Yeah, you know what? To be honest, years ago, I was always reservating, have a fixed place. And secondly, maybe in advance, buying an early bird ticket or something, it's cheaper. But I missed so many classes or venues, whatever. The money was wasted. It's okay, Roland, stop. Book it when you need it, when you know exactly. Maybe you pay a little bit more, but you didn't waste the money before. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Roland, one thing we haven't spoken about for your trip is you're going to be in Italy for the holidays, for the traditional holidays. And I don't know if you have any plans to put up some decorations, or
Oh,
you celebrate any of the holidays?
Well, good question. Well, no, I don't have any decoration. To be honest, I have no idea where we're going to be on Christmas or New Year. I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. No idea. So, but bringing decoration. But the point is, when you have a motorhome, you don't have that much space to bring stuff. I'm not sure. I think last year. No, I had no decoration.
Tree?
No tree. No tree. Well, what I do have to be honest, I'm a little bit romantic when I stay with my motorhome outside of a nice lighting stuff, like lamps, and I love this. It looks romantic. But no, I don't have a Christmas tree or some angels or whatever. No, not at all. No.
Okay.
And to be honest, I don't miss it. It would be different when I'm north, in my home country, when it's snowing, everybody's outside having a hot red wine and some cookies and it's snowing. Yeah, it would be more. But I've been living so many years in the south, in Asia, in Spain, and there was no Christmas feeling because it was warm. No snow. No, I don't know how you do it in Florida, but I never had a Christmas feeling in a warm area.
It's interesting that you said that, because I've been coming to Florida for, I guess, 40 years. And when my family was here, we would have the big Christmas. And then when the pandemic hit and my mom and I were together throughout those 3 years, I put up a tree, and it was just me. I actually did it myself. I put up all the decorations. I made the Christmas meal, and I'm not doing it anymore. So my Christmas stuff is in New Jersey and I'm here. And I think I'll just be doing what I normally do, but giving thanks and gratitude for everything that I have. But I don't think I'll be doing anything unusual.
Yeah. Well, maybe I do the same like I did last year in Portugal when I meet some homeless people on Christmas or something, that I give away some of my food. So some of my, maybe I cook for them, or in Portugal I was giving away some of the food I had or in store or stuff, doing something good on that. Of course, calling my kids, my family, doing some video calls with family and friends. I'm doing to connect. Yeah, going to a church, not participating in the church because I'm not part of it, but I always how to say, burn or fire a candle, yeah, and think about my parents, my kids, and my beloved ones. Yeah, that's what I do, but nothing more. I don't. And to be honest, I'm so happy that I'm away from all this Christmas stress, in the shopping malls, and you have Jingle Bell, and I can't hear the songs anymore. Last Christmas, I can't hear it anymore. So I'm so happy for you. They're starting in November with all the same songs. I don't want to hear them at all.
You know what's so funny, Roland, is that here where I am, I'm very close to a very well-known shopping mall. And I walk around the outside, not the inside, but the outside's a mile something. And I'm not inside with all those headaches and the noise and the pressure. I mean, they put up the Halloween decorations here in the neighborhood. I think a month ago, we've got all these Halloween. They just push and push and push and push. And it does start to lose its meaning, I think. But I guess if you have kids, if you have children, it's probably different, right? As a father, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I have 3 boys, now raised up. They're 33, 30, and 26. But when I have small kids, yeah, of course, every Christmas we had a Christmas tree with candles, this Christmas dinner and stuff like that. Of course, we had this. Yeah, for kids, it's a must. It's a must, of course. And I absolutely enjoyed it. To see these eyes, and they're so happy, and they're really nervous if the Santa Claus or the Christ child is coming and bring the gifts and stuff like that. Yeah, it's wonderful with kids, for the family. It's amazing. But now I'm, my kids, they're in Vienna. They're living their own life. So alone for me, it doesn't make sense. But to be honest, I'm it doesn't mean that I'm in a negative mood or get a depression. No, I'm not missing. Some people get depressed because they're alone on Christmas. Not me. Last year in Portugal, I was alone totally because I was looking. I was with my motorhome on a property in Portugal because a German lady was sending something on, I guess it was on Facebook. She's looking for somebody who's taking care about her property because she wants to fly to Germany to see her grandkids. And I said, yeah, I'm coming for 10 days or 12 days I was there. So I was totally alone on Christmas and all these holidays. And I had no depression. Absolutely. I enjoyed it to be myself. And I said, no last Christmas anymore at Jingle Bell. So I was happy. Of course, I called my kids. I had some conversation, video calls with my friends, but I had no depression. Some people say they're depressed, but maybe it's different when you're alone in a city. Maybe that's different, staying in an apartment. But when you're out in nature, blue sky, nice sea, yeah, I didn't feel any depression or something like that. I don't miss it.
Now, I think what you brought up is a really good point. It's all about your mindset as well. If you set yourself up going, oh, I'm going to be alone, oh this, oh that, then you probably are going to be sad. But if you plan in advance and you're at peace and you're in a good place in your life, which we have to do the work constantly. You're doing it, I'm doing it. And when we do have those moments of sadness or aloneness, then that's a good time to reflect. Why am I feeling this way? What is it I need to do now?
Absolutely. Well, especially when you feel lonely or sad, or what triggers you? Yeah, well, maybe it's something from your past, from your childhood, or something like that. Yeah, it's a learning process. That's what I did in an interview today with somebody, and I said it's not all about when you go on personal development, especially when you're on a spiritual path. It's not about love and light. It's also look at your shadow sides and find out why you feel lonely, why you feel sad or angry or whatever it is. Yeah, especially, yeah, it's Christmas time is a good time to reflect, especially winter. Winter is the time of, we have these 4 seasons. We have the time of dying. The plants are dying, and we can, yeah, recover, and it's less stressful. Recover and go slowly, especially when it's colder. Go slowly in winter and reflect. And reflect what happened this year, what was good, what was bad, what can I do next year better. And yeah, it's a good time for that. But as you said, feeling lonely is a mindset. I don't feel lonely at all. I enjoy it. Of course, I love to interact with other people, but I don't need them every day. And to be honest, the older I become, the more I enjoy to be by myself.
Here, here. I agree with you. I was just reflecting the other day that I turned 60 this year. So that means that I'm 60 and a half already.
But you know what, Dr. JACALYN? Life starts with 60. Before that, it was only some research.
Okay, so you're not actually born yet.
Yeah. Next year. Life starts with 60.
It is interesting because I'm reflecting on things in a different way, in that time seems to speed up. I don't know why. It just seems like the days and the weeks go faster. And I say to myself, I'm not going to waste any of it. I'm going to do exactly what it is I want to do and what I enjoy doing.
Yeah, you know, the same to me. The last years, I really learned, first of all, to say no. To say no to people who just suck energy. To say no to people who just yeah, where I feel bored, that's not interesting, where I cannot learn something or share something. I learned to say no because I was a people pleaser and I was wasting so much time on people and that. So I learned to surround myself with good people, positive people, or just to stay by myself. That's one thing. And same with relationships. Because you asked me, looking for a love in Italy. I'm a single since a long time. I had a girlfriend for a short while. She disappeared again for some reason. So I feel good on that. But do you know what? The less I need it, the more girls I feel attracted. So I had so many dates the last 2 weeks. It was incredible because I was not in the need of it. I was not looking for something or searching for something. And it was nice, you know, to interact with different ladies and get contact and talk. But I all told them, sorry, ladies, but I will go on my trip. I will go to Italy, no matter how far we are going. But I will not compromise anymore. I'm not willing to compromise. I go on my trip. If somebody wants to come with me, fine. If not, it's fine too. I'm not waiting for something or somebody anymore because there are only a few years left.
That's very true. So do tell, for those of us who are curious about your dating prowess, how did you meet these lovely ladies?
How did I meet them? Well, one, I joined an emotional training 2 weeks ago, and I met a beautiful actually 29 years and 30 years younger than me. Beautiful one. It's a very good conversation, but I'm too old or she's too young. But anyway, but we have a very good time together. I found somebody 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago again, when I joined a T32 concert in a yoga center. An amazing lady. Saturday, 2 sisters approached me to date me both at the same time. This was an interesting experience, by the way. So, yeah, when I walk my dog, when I go to an event, especially in a yoga studio, or I go to a lot of spiritual stuff. On Sunday, last night, I was attending ecstatic dance. It was a cool experience. Ecstatic dance, cool music, just dancing in a dancing studio for 2 hours with a lot of women there. It was fun. You always can meet people. But I think the most guys, when you're listening but you have to go there not on purpose. You go there because you want to dance. You go there because you want to join this workshop or whatever. Don't go because you're searching for somebody, because that's not working at all. That's what I can tell you. You have to let it go.
Now, can we see any of these dance moves?
Ecstatic dance is you just close your eyes and the music becomes wilder and wilder. You just move around whenever you feel comfortable. You dance by yourself. Even when you bring a partner, you dance by yourself. It's a 2 hours just expressing your emotions and getting rid of the energy. And I think especially for men, it's really good because most men don't have access to their emotions, and you get a better access to your emotion when you move. It's good. It's healthy. You're sweating a little bit. It's cool music. You just dance like you want. You don't care about others, and the others don't care about you, about your dancing style. Like, you know, when you go to a club or something, people look at you, maybe with a kind of weird dancing style. When you go to ecstatic dance, nobody absolutely cares about you. You do, and that's an interesting point. So more and more men came to ecstatic dance, and I absolutely enjoyed it. Absolutely, you just dance ecstatically. Whatever you go with the flow with the music. You close your eyes if you want. You don't care about the others. You just feel the music and you move, intentionally. Yeah, the body tells you what kind of movement the body wants to do to this kind of music.
Yeah, our dear friend and sister on our platform here, KERBECK Huard, she talks about that kind of dancing as well. So she has nothing but great things to say about it.
Yeah, it's really cool. And we have been about between 25 and 30 people, and it was almost half, a little bit more women than men, but more and more men come to ecstatic dance to express their emotions. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. Absolutely. I loved it. And I felt so good afterwards. And then I had a nice date afterwards. So it was nice. Yeah. Ecstatic dance. But as I said, I didn't go there on purpose. I just went there to dance. It's always the same, you know, when you're needy or want something, it's not working. It's not working.
Right. When you have a plan, it's not going to work. But if you just go with an open heart and an open mind,
yeah, the ladies smell it on a mile that you're needy. Yeah.
Like, woo, stay away from him.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Roland, we're coming to the last few minutes of this show. What would you like to leave the audience with today?
Well, if you're thinking about heading south, if it's Italy or Florida or wherever, yeah, do it. It's an amazing experience. When you have the chance, maybe you're retired or maybe you work remotely or you can make a longer break. It's really good to prolong the summer season, to prolong the vitamin D intake on being in the sun side. I highly recommend it. I love spending the winters south, absolutely, because I don't like the cold, and even less, I don't like the gray sky. So try it out, find it out. If you never spend the winter in the south, especially when you're living in the north, in a colder country, try it out. You feel the difference. You feel the vibe. People are happy. And yeah, try it out. Give it a try and let me know what you think about it. If you need any advice on countries, on areas where it's good to stay or what to consider, feel free to email me and I can help you out.
Thanks, Roland. What's the best way for people to reach out to you?
The best way is to email me is the best way. It's my email address is office@my name, roland.friedl.com. It's ROLANDFRIEDL, roland.friedl.com. It's the best way. Send me an email and I will come. I'm more than happy to come back to you. As I said before, it's all about sharing and caring and connecting with people and supporting each other. And you're more than welcome.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, Roland. It's really been enjoyable. We've got just a couple of minutes left. And so I'd love to have you share with our audience a little bit about the programs that you've already done that are over on YouTube. You've got the Talking Head series that you did. Why don't you remind people about that?
Yeah. Thank you for this opportunity. Yeah. So when you have a business context, you're working in the corporate world, or you're running your own business and you want to improve your performance and whatever, you're more than welcome to go on USA Global TV on YouTube and go on the playlist, the Talking Heads. I did a series of, I believe, interesting topics that I was facilitating over many years to many companies worldwide. It's a proven concept, so go there if interested. When you're interested in becoming, as a man, a better version of yourself, I highly recommend the playlist Wild at Heart. This was a series, actually a weekly show, where different men from different parts of the world with different religious backgrounds, educations, ethnical backgrounds came together and we did discuss topics. This was a show for men, by men, about men. It's the Wild at Heart show, the men's show here in USA Global TV Radio. Then we do the It's Your Healthy Lifestyle. If you're interested in a more healthy lifestyle, staying healthy or becoming healthier, I highly recommend we do it next week, and then every 2 weeks, It's Your Healthy Lifestyle here in USA Global Radio, and you found the recordings there. And the other 2 weeks we'll do the Planet Earth show. So when you're interested in what you can do on a daily basis to protect Mother Earth, you're more than welcome on the Planet Earth show. I did so many shows. Did I forget something?
Oh my gosh, I feel like there was one other.
Yeah, could be. I have no idea. I did
hundreds of shows, Roland.
But no matter, it's for me. It's always a pleasure. And ladies and gentlemen, really go on USA Global TV and Radio. This is a channel where you get not manipulated in a certain area, in a certain direction. You just get education. You find so many different topics, over 40 shows a week, different topics about traveling, fashion, health, men's, women, art, culture, whatever it is. So go there and educate yourself. It's a good opportunity. And if you want to join us, if you have a concept, you want to share something to the world, you're more than welcome. I can tell you, I learned so much the last 2 years here on the USA Global TV and Radio family. Yeah, absolutely. It's all a pleasure.
Thank you, Roland. And I'll be reaching out to you because we're actually hosting the charity event for Dr. Wahid and the International Foundation for Humanity.
The International Humanity Chamber of Commerce. Yeah, I'm proud of it. I'm a member of the executive committee. I'm involved with together with Simon to support them on an economic base. So the economics one, I do men's development. So I'm writing with a friend of mine a concept together to improve men's development in these areas, and also I'm also on the board for environmental issues. Yeah.
That's fantastic. We're holding their charity event here on November the 25th, which happens to be Thanksgiving. But you know me, I'm always working. So I'll reach out to see you where you are in the world. Maybe you could join me.
Yeah, would be nice. Absolutely, 25th of yeah.
November.
Let me know and book it in my calendar. I'm making sure wherever I'm in Italy, I get a network. 25th. Yeah, I know where I am. There should be a good network. Yeah.
All right, good. I'll be in touch. As they say on Hawaii 5-0, book it, Dano.
Okay.
All right. Thank you again, Roland. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We really appreciate it. We'll be back with our next show shortly. In the meantime, Roland, keep on rolling safely. And we look forward to seeing you next week on It's Your Healthy Lifestyle and the Mallorca Connection.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. JACALYN. And thanks to our audience, wherever you're joining us. All the best. Stay healthy. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.